All right, listen up, because I gotta tell you something that's been eating at me for a while now. My name's Mike, and for years I genuinely thought I was a stand up guy, a decent husband. Truth is, I'm the type who always wants to see the best in people, you know? I hate drama, I wouldn't dream of snooping through my wife's phone, and I definitely don't sweat the small stuff. Figured that's what being a good husband was all about. But looking back now, maybe I was too damn understanding. See, my wife Sarah, she's not evil or anything, but she's got this thing about pushing boundaries, testing how far she can go before I react. Sometimes it was small stuff, like blowing way too much cash on things we absolutely didn't need, or staying out hours later than she said she would. Annoying, sure, but I let it slide. Then other times, it felt like she was poking me, seeing if I'd actually put my foot down, if I had any backbone at all. And then there's Brad. Brad. I knew from day one, years ago, that Brad wasn't just some casual friend. He was her ex, her college boyfriend, whatever you want to call it. And I don't care how many years have passed, guys like him don't just stick around for kicks. They're like vultures, circling, playing the nice guy, waiting for their moment to swoop in. I brought it up, more than once. Told Sarah straight to her face, I don't trust that guy. But every single time she'd wave it away, tell me I was being paranoid, that I was jealous for no reason. He's just a friend, Mike. You're reading way too much into it. He's like a brother to me. All the classic lines, you know the drill. I wanted to believe her. I really did. So I let it go, again and again. Told myself I was overreacting, that I was being insecure, the whole 9 yards. But trust, man, trust is a fragile thing. It's got a breaking point. And Sarah was about to find out exactly where mine was. One night, we were chilling in our apartment, Upper West Side. Typical Friday night. Sarah's scrolling through her phone, chatting about her day, you know, the usual. Then she casually mentions this weekend trip. Some of her old college buddies are planning a getaway. Cabin up in the Catskills, she says. Chance to unwind, catch up, relive the glory days. On the surface, it sounded harmless. I had no problem with her hanging with her friends. We always gave each other space. Never wanted to be that controlling husband. But then she dropped the bomb. Brad's going too, she says, just like that. The moment his name left her lips, something in my gut clenched. This wasn't some innocent reunion, something in her tone, the way she was watching me, it felt off. This wasn't just an update on her weekend plans, it was a test. She wasn't just telling me about the trip, she was waiting for my reaction, waiting to see if I'd finally object, tell her not to go. And deep down, I think that's exactly what she wanted. For years, I'd given her warnings about Brad. I wasn't some crazy, jealous guy, but I saw what was happening. Brad wasn't some harmless friend. He was a guy waiting for an opening. And I wasn't about to play dumb anymore, but this time, I didn't react the way Sarah expected. I didn't blow up. I didn't remind her why Brad was a problem. I didn't list all the times I'd let things slide, brush things under the rug. I just looked at her straight in the eye and said, "If you go, don't bother coming back." She blinked at me, totally caught off guard. Then she laughed. She actually laughed, shook her head like I was telling some kind of joke. "God, Mike, you're so dramatic," she says, rolling her eyes. Then came the usual excuses, the same tired lines she always used when I voiced my concerns. "You're overreacting. Brad's just a friend. You really need to stop being so insecure." I didn't argue, didn't raise my voice. I just looked at her, my voice calm, steady. "Do what you want," I said, and I meant it. Every single word. She thought I was bluffing, just like always. She had no idea that this time I was dead serious. The morning of her trip, Sarah moved around the apartment like nothing had changed, humming some pop song, packing her suitcase, carefully folding her clothes, agonizing over which shoes to bring. She took her sweet time, pausing every few minutes to check her phone, probably texting in the group chat about the cabin, the booze, the whole weekend. Every now and then, she'd glance at me, expecting me to say something, to cave, to beg her to stay, to remind her of what I'd told her. But I didn't. I just watched. When she was finally done, she wheeled her designer suitcase to the front door, the kind she charged to our joint account without even asking. She walked over to me, leaned in, pressed a quick kiss to my cheek, just like she always did before any trip. "Love you," she said, her tone light, almost dismissive, like my warning 2 days ago was just some background noise, meaningless. Then, without a second thought, she grabbed her keys, slung her purse over her shoulder, and walked out the door. I didn't say a word. Didn't need to. I watched from the window as she wrestled her suitcase into the trunk of the yellow cab waiting downstairs, slid into the passenger seat, and pulled out of the driveway. The moment the cab turned the corner, disappeared into the city traffic, I got to work. First thing, I changed the locks. Had already made arrangements with a locksmith the day before, just in case. Within an hour, the apartment was secured. New locks, new keys, mine and mine alone. Next step was dealing with her stuff. I started packing her clothes, her shoes, her makeup, all the little things she'd scattered around our home, from the bathroom to the bedroom to even my side of the closet. Every single thing that belonged to her was neatly packed into boxes, labeled, ready to go, waiting to be delivered to her mom and dad's place in Jersey. I didn't want her to have any excuse to come back, not even to pick up a forgotten scarf or a favorite sweater. Clean break. Then came the final step, the divorce papers. I called my lawyer that morning before Sarah even left for the Catskills, told him I was done, that I wanted a divorce, and to get the ball rolling. He was a bit surprised, but he knew me, knew I wasn't one for drama. He said he'd get everything drafted ASAP. There was no hesitation, no second guessing. This wasn't some empty threat. I had warned her, point blank, and she chose to ignore me. Sarah had convinced herself that nothing would change when she got back. She thought she could go on this little getaway, laugh with her friends, spend cozy nights by the fire with Brad, and then just waltz back into our life like everything was normal. She thought she had me all figured out, that I'd grumble about it for a few days, maybe give her the silent treatment, and then eventually, like always, I'd just let it go. But this time was different. This time, I wasn't going to be the doormat husband who let his wife walk all over him. I wasn't going to be the guy who got disrespected and still welcomed her back with open arms like nothing had happened. I had drawn a line in the sand, a clear, unmistakable line, and she had crossed it. Now she was about to find out exactly what that meant. I hadn't given Sarah much thought when I left for work on the Monday she was supposed to come back. As far as I was concerned, she was ancient history. Decision made, preparations executed, and I was ready to move on. Figured she was still up in the Catskills, probably nursing a hangover, completely oblivious to the fact that when she returned to the city, her life as she knew it was over. Then, on Wednesday, day 4 of her little trip, 3 days earlier than planned, she showed up. I wouldn't have even known if it weren't for the security camera I'd installed outside our apartment a few months back, just for peace of mind. An alert popped up on my phone during my lunch break, and out of curiosity, I checked the live feed. And there she was, standing on our doorstep, bags at her feet, her hand gripping the doorknob. She tried turning it. Nothing. Door didn't budge. She tried again, then again, yanking harder each time. I watched her step back, her eyebrows furrowing, confusion starting to creep across her face. She leaned in closer, peering at the lock, touching it, running her fingers around the edges. And that's the moment it hit her. The lock had been changed. Sarah fumbled for her phone, and within seconds, mine started ringing. Her name flashed across the screen. I let it ring a few times, just to savor the moment. Finally, I answered. "Mike?" she breathed, her voice already shaky, on the verge of cracking. "The door. It won't open." "You don't live here anymore, Sarah," I said, my tone calm, detached, like I was discussing the weather. "Your things are at your parents' house in Jersey. Expect the divorce papers in a week or 2. There was a long silence. I could hear her breathing, shaky and uneven, like she was trying to process what I'd just said, like I was speaking a foreign language. Then her voice came back, desperate this time, a raw edge to it. "Mike, please, wait, let me just..." I ended the call before she could finish. Didn't want to hear it, didn't need to hear it. A few seconds later, my phone started buzzing again. She called once, then again, then again. Her name kept flashing across the screen, a relentless, panicked rhythm. I ignored every single one. After the 6th attempt, I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. I wasn't interested in whatever story she was about to spin. Then the texts started flooding in. "Mike, please talk to me. I messed up, okay? I messed up big time. I'm so sorry. It's not what it looks like." I sat there at my desk, staring at my phone, watching the notifications pile up, one after another. I wasn't angry. Strangely, I wasn't even sad. Just empty, numb. This was the same woman who had laughed in my face when I warned her not to go. The same woman who had kissed me goodbye so confidently, so sure that I wouldn't do a damn thing about it. And now she was begging me to listen. A new message popped up. "Please pick up, Mike. There's something important I need to tell you." Still, I didn't move. Didn't even flinch. I checked the camera again. Sarah was pacing back and forth on the porch, her face red, blotchy, her hands shaking so badly she could barely hold her phone. She looked frantic now, running her fingers through her hair, probably wondering how the hell things had spiraled so fast, so completely. I could see her through the grainy camera feed. She was crying, yelling at the door, begging me to pick up. Then, after a long pause, she stopped texting. Instead, she sent a voice note. I hesitated before playing it. Part of me wanted to just delete it, erase her completely. But curiosity, morbid curiosity maybe, got the better of me. I hit play. Her voice was a wreck, shaky, broken, full of sobs like she had completely lost control, like her world was collapsing around her. She wasn't just upset. She was terrified. "Mike, please, please listen to me," she choked out, barely getting the words out. "You were right about Brad. I should have listened to you. I swear, I never expected any of this to happen. I drank too much, and when I woke up, it was..." She sobbed again, gasping for air, the sound raw and desperate. "Jake, Brad did something. He recorded it. He's blackmailing me." She finally got it out, the ugly truth, the thing she was so afraid of. "I'm telling you now because I don't want you to find out from someone else. Please, Mike, I don't know what to do. I need you. I swear. I didn't mean for this to happen." She was desperate, begging, hoping that because she had been wronged, because she was now in trouble, I would step in and save her. That I would take her back, forgive everything, clean up the mess she had created. She thought her being a victim now somehow erased her choices, her betrayal. I listened to the entire voice note, sitting in complete silence, staring blankly at my computer screen. Then, slowly, deliberately, I typed out one last message, the final thing I would ever say to her. "Enjoy your life, Sarah. You made your choice. Now live with it." And with that, I blocked her number. Blocked her on every social media platform. Erased her from my digital world, just like I was erasing her from my real one. I never looked back. Not once did I check in on Sarah, ask mutual friends how she was doing, or wonder if she was okay. I had spent enough time giving her the benefit of the doubt, only to have her throw it back in my face, laugh in my face. She made her choice, and now she had to live with the consequences. From what I heard through the grapevine, things went downhill fast for her. Her parents were furious. They didn't know all the gory details. I never felt the need to spell it all out, but they knew enough. They knew she had walked out on a good marriage, that she had ignored my warnings, gone on that trip anyway, and that when she came crawling back, her home was no longer hers. Her mother tried to be supportive, I guess. That's what moms do. But her father? He was livid. He had always liked me, respected me, saw me as a solid guy who took care of his daughter. Now he was stuck taking in that same daughter because she had nowhere else to go. Her friends weren't much better. A few of them, the ones who had encouraged her to go on that trip in the first place, tried to reach out to me, sending me pathetic messages, making weak attempts at justifying what had happened. "Mike, she's really sorry. You don't have to end things over one mistake. At least hear her out." I ignored every single one of them. Didn't care what they had to say. They weren't the ones who had to live with her choices. I was. And I had made it crystal clear that I was done. Then there was Brad. The guy she had risked everything for. The moment he realized there was real trouble brewing, that Sarah's life was imploding, he vanished. Poof. Gone. I'm sure he thought he was untouchable, Mr. Cool Guy. But when Sarah started talking about blackmail, about him recording her without consent, that changed everything. He knew damn well he could get arrested. His perfect little life in the city could come crashing down. So just like that, he disappeared, ghosted her, left her to face the music alone. The guy she threw her marriage away for wouldn't even answer her calls anymore. So there she was, alone, humiliated, blackmailed, full of regret, living back in her childhood bedroom in Jersey. Meanwhile, I moved on. Focused on myself, my career, my future. Got a promotion at work, started hitting the gym again, reconnected with old friends, refused to waste a single second wondering if she missed me or if she realized how badly she had messed up. But deep down, I already knew. Deep down, From the unending messages she kept sending, even after I blocked her, from the desperate voice note, from the wreckage of her life, I knew. Some mistakes can't be undone. Some choices have consequences that you can't escape from. She thought I was bluffing. She thought I was just making an empty threat. She was wrong. Dead wrong. And that, my friends, is the story of how my wife learned that when you push someone too far, sometimes they just close the door, lock it tight, and never, ever let you back in.